ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Thursday, October 10th. Your drive, it starts right now. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is going to be 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got a little bit of a dilemma here today. I've got a few cuts from Coach Huff, and then I don't have a guest today. So it's your benefit. We're going to open up the text lines wide open this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So that is our promo for the text line today. Get in on it right now and join us. I'm trying to fire it up as we speak here. So we got a game coming up on Saturday. Getting a little bit closer to that. So Coach Huff today, we're going to preview a little bit of the opponent with him. We've got his take on what they do offensively, what they do on defense as well. So that means it's your opportunity to give your take. So what do you think the score is going to be on Saturday? To white out, the herd going to be wearing the pea pods, the green beans, the string beans. What do we call those? What's the acceptable name for those? The all greens. I think they got the white helmets and the green uniforms because it's a whiteout on Saturday. So that's going to be a cool look, actually. It's going to be on national TV, a game with an all-white team versus an all-green team uniform. So that should look good on national TV, and hopefully the Thundering Herd can come out on top with the straight-up string green bean, lima bean look there. And so with all of that said, Saturday we got a game. Who's going to win? Is this going to go to the Herd? Is Marshall going to be 2-0 in Sun Belt play? Or will the Herd drop in Sun Belt play? And how's the Herd going to win this one? Is this going to be maybe a field goal? Is it going to be a field goal that wins it? Is it going to be an interception? Is it going to be, of course, is it going to be a Stone Earl pass? Is it going to be a Braylon Braxton pass? Who knows? Again, I don't know because earlier this week we had a chance to talk to Braylon Braxton. And so with Braxton being at the media availability, doesn't mean necessarily he's going to be the quarterback because we had Stone Earl at the previous media availability, and it was Braxton that was the quarterback. So I don't know. It could be Cole Pennington at this point. Cole Pennington could go out there. This could be the game he's been prepping for all this time, and everybody's ready to go, and he'll find out or has already probably found out here as the team getting set. He might be your starter on Saturday, and that's got to be maddening because usually you got a good backup, you got a strong, solid starter, you got a good backup here. But we're at this point now where Marshall doesn't have a starting quarterback. Marshall just has a quarterback room. And that's got to be maddening to opposing teams. So far, it's worked. I don't know if that's going to catch up on the Herd. And again, maybe you're going to have to use your quarterbacks this way, situationally. One's a better runner. Okay, one's a straight-up better pocket passer. Okay, one brings something that the other one doesn't, and that's going to benefit us more in that game. So that's where we're at right now with this game. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. And the other team doesn't know what the quarterback's going to be as well. So I'm sure that they're prepping for everybody. And I don't know how much energy do you really have to put toward a quarterback? Like, okay, if they put this guy in, this is where we're going. If they put the other guy in, because don't you have to do that anyway? Just because if you've got a good backup, you have to put that energy. You got a game plan. You got to have something you can call upon. You got to have. You just don't go out there and draw up a play on the turf. Like, okay, they got that guy in, so let's try this. No, you have to have a game plan. So I think it's got to be a little maddening at the same time. It's going to be maybe to the Herd's benefit. But again, this is another team that Marshall has faced that has a bye the previous week. So is it going to be a tough game again? I think so. Will Georgia Southern be a better team than what we saw a few weeks ago? I think so. Will this be a team that gives up a lot of yardage to the Thundering Herd? That I don't know. texter just wrote in and said, Paul, this is going to be a Steve Cotton radio broadcast for me. ESPNU is not in my cable package. I would prefer ESPN Plus. I have ESPNU. I don't know how, because I've got a skinnier bundle than a lot of people. So, yeah, I get it. And a lot of it's because, okay, what am I doing on Saturday? I'm usually at the game. So ESPN Plus usually serves my needs. I've got the proper ESPN channels, and then I've got ESPN Plus because I've got it part of the Disney package, the Hulu package. I've got that bundle. I'm grandfathered in a little bit, so I'm saving a couple of bucks. But, yeah, you got to have – right now you've got to have the ESPN package on your cable plan. You've got to make sure you have ESPN Plus if you want to see some of these games. And, of course, you got to make sure you have all of the ESPNs. And then there are going to be those rogue games that will be on different networks depending on the opponent. If you're on the road, we had a game on the CW this year. We had a game on Fox proper. So it's going to be spread out all over the place. But I don't know what you need to do package-wise, what your provider looks like. So if you're looking for a place to watch the game, I, of course, am going to suggest Roosters or our location. It's going to be Giovanni's. We'll be down there, 20th Street. You know, any of the places that are serving on Saturday, those are going to be great options for you. Again, I'm telling you right now, come on down to Giovanni's 20th Street. You can watch the game. If you're nearby, we'll have it for you there. And, of course, get a pizza while you're there. Or it's going to be a Steve Cotton game. We love to hear that, though. Steve's going to do a great job. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It's going to be a total text show for you all this week, as we have got a couple of sound bites I want to get to from Coach Huff, and then I just want to keep the thing completely open. Texter wants to know, is there an official watch party somewhere? I think what you're talking about is, of course, with the coaches show being at Davis's place, they're going to promote that as well. And by the way, the coaches show is coming up tonight. It will be the Coach Huff show. We'll have it for you coming up at 7 o'clock right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, and, of course, also on our sister station 93.7 The Dog. So you probably have seen some socials promoting that as far as that's the place to watch because, again, they're partnered up with Marshall for the Coach Huff show, so they're going to have some of that on their socials as well, and probably some of that on Marshall's socials. But any place will do. I'm telling you, Giovanni, so that's where we're going to be. That's my biggest concern is making sure everybody's got an opportunity to see this game. But if you can't, we got you covered. As my boss says, we work in radio, not television. You listen right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 or on 93.7 The Dog. Texter says, Paul, for me, it's always a Steve Cotton broadcast. Even when it's on TV, I sync it with the radio. That's a good plan right there. Absolutely. I also try to listen to most things on the radio. If it's something that I can't get on radio, I'm going to obviously watch it on TV. But if it's something that's radio, like, for example, Thursday Night Football, I'll probably have it on, but I'll be listening to the game. And I'll just follow along that way. Sunday Night Football, same thing. With the Bengals, though, it's either I'm all in on the radio side of things or it's kind of half and half for me there. Only because, I like some of the Sunday announcers. I like Ian Eagle. I like some of the other guys there as well. So if it's one of the national broadcasts that's featuring some of the better talent, I'm going to switch back and forth. But, for a Marshall game, it's Steve Cotton. If it's done locally, if it's done, say, with Mark Martin and maybe Keith Morehouse or Steve Cotton, and in those cases, I think it's going to be Dave Wilson for a lot of those games. If it's any of those combinations, I think you're going to be good. But, I know that's going to be a dilemma. Is that really a dilemma? ESPNU? How many people have ESPNU? I really didn't think about that because I just have it. Because I haven't seen a Marshall game on ESPNU in so long, I just haven't thought about that. So we'll get your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We got a little bit from Coach Huff I want to get to before the Coach Huff show tonight. We'll get his thoughts on Georgia Southern. We'll get more from you. It's a wide open text line today here on The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Sweet chocolate reward Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Hey, Lex, I got a question for you about our friends over at K&B Pest Control.
Shoot.
Do you think they'll eliminate my mother-in-law?
I think so.
She's in the house, kind of pesky.
From what I understand, they'll kill for your business, so you might want to have a talk.
No, these guys are great, man. Locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state area. Free estimates, highly skilled staff. There's specialized training and inspections and solutions. So no matter what's going on, they'll figure it out. They'll find out where these pests are coming from, and they will eliminate them.
Yep, and you can even do comparisons with their Facebook page. They got real pest pics. This is when the critters start coming out, Terrence, so if you're seeing problems like they have on their Facebook page, call 304-523-4281.
Go ahead and ask for Patrick or Becca. They will hook you up. Promise. We promise you it's KNBPestControl.com. Go ahead and hit them up online as well. K&B Pest Control, they will kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We continue on with this Thursday, October 10th edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour, and it's wide open. We're going to keep it open all show. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It's going to be just one big chat group today with us. Also, I've got some comments from Coach Huff. We're going to hear that in just a moment. Texter wants to know, Paul, what's your prediction? I'm going to say the Herd wins a tough game, 24-20. I don't know if I'm going to go that low. I'm thinking it's going to be in the 30s maybe. Because I know Marshall's offense is starting to ramp up. And I know Georgia Southern's defense is better than what it looks like on paper. But I still think that there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. So I'm just going to say this is going to be possibly maybe in the 30s. Georgia Southern's going to be ramped up for this. They're going to be really jacked. It's national TV. It's on ESPNU. It's going to be a whiteout. So they're going to be excited for this game. So there's going to be an energy to that game. And so I think Marshall's in store for a dogfight. But at the same time, I like Marshall's chances, but I don't know if it's going to be a runaway like it was against App State. Again, Coach Huff could throw a curveball out there, and that could take Georgia Southern off guard. But I think they might also be looking for the curveball now. You can't pull that too many times. That trick, you can pull it once, maybe you can get away with it later on, do something that they're not expecting. And at the same time, Marshall's going to have to adjust to what Georgia Southern's got in store for them. They've had a couple of weeks, so they might have a few curveballs that they're going to throw, and we'll see how Marshall adjusts. Speaking of getting ready for Georgia Southern, Coach Huff speaking with the media earlier this week, one of the questions asked was about quarterback J.C. French. And let's start by talking about the quarterback who's been instrumental in their offense. Here's Coach Huff sharing his thoughts on what makes French so effective in the Eagles' offense.
Yeah, I think he's got a really good feel for the system. You can tell he is understanding what they're trying to get accomplished. He doesn't hold on to the ball long. He doesn't force the ball. You know, you look at the improvement they made. You know, last year they were up numbers in interceptions. This year they're way down. You know, they're up way in efficiency. I think, one, he does deliver the ball, get it out of his hand quickly, makes it hard to get to. He understands the system they're trying to run. You know where he's looking. He's looking at the right guy. He gets off the read quickly, gets to the next read. And then I think he's tough, you know, because he will pull it down and run. He probably runs better than, you know, you think or you'd like him to as on the other side. So that's always a viable option. You know, you could cover everybody. He could take off and still make an efficient play. So I think he's kind of what makes their offense go. A lot of people around him are making plays, but he's keeping them in efficient situations. He's not taking a lot of sacks. He's not throwing the ball to the other team a lot, which is keeping them on the field. And I think that's a big piece of what they've been able to do offensively.
So Coach is highlighting his decision-making ability here, and I think that's going to be critical for what is a quick-hitting offense. That kid is efficient. He's smart with the ball, and you don't see him make mistakes, and that's going to challenge Marshall's defense. Marshall's defense will thrive off of mistakes, and so what's going to be key here for the Herd, I think, is disrupting French's rhythm, kind of forcing him into some uncomfortable situations. You know, the standard stuff you usually have to do to a quarterback. Now, Georgia Southern isn't just about the pass. Their ground game, which is led by Jalen White and O.J. Arnold, very dangerous as well. And here's Coach breaking down what makes their running backs tough. It's something I'm sure he smiles about because, again, he's a running back guy. But you see a matchup like this, and it's definitely going to be a tough game for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, they're a little bit like we are. They've got 2, 3, in my opinion, really good running backs, and they all do everything really well. You know, so it's not like, hey, this guy's in and he's the pass catcher, or this guy's in and he's the short yardage guy, or this guy's in and he's the the inside zone runner. All of them do a really good job. They run behind their pads. They break a lot of tackles. I'm a big leaky yard guy. These guys will fall forward for 2 and 3 and 4 extra yards. They're both competitive in the pass game. You know, sometimes the quarterback will step up. It's not there. He'll find the check down. They'll make some explosive plays. And I think they got really good size. You know, so they're not the small kind of scat backs. They got good size. They can run behind their pads. You know, White's 6'1", 225. That's a lot. You know, you got to gang tackle him. You can't just, throw your shoulder in there. So I like the room's makeup because you can't really say when this guy's in, they run these plays, or when that guy's in, they run these plays. So it makes it difficult from a defensive strategy position to say, okay, hey, this backs in, expect sprint out. This backs in, expect inside zone. Or this backs in, this is going to be an outside run. They all kind of complement each other and the scheme, and it makes it really difficult to kind of game plan based on who's in and who's not.
I think this actually bodes well for the Thundering Herd. As Coach Huff mentions, it's not just about stopping one back for Georgia Southern, and all the guys are capable of making plays. So, yeah, that's going to keep the defense off balance at the same time. I think that keeps you focused a little bit more because you just don't say, okay, that guy's in here, so we do this. So you're going to have to constantly be thinking, and Marshall is going to have to be on point with tackling. These guys get what he loves to call the leaky yards. So Marshall is going to have to be on point if it wants to contain these guys and keep them from getting those extra 3, 4, 5 yards. Now, on the other side of the ball, Georgia Southern's defense may give up yards, but they can stop teams when it matters. And Coach Huff is pretty bullish on them. He talks about why their defense is better than what the stats may show.
Yeah, they're a little bit like us. I mean, if you look at us, you'd be like, wow, they give up a lot of yards. Half a ton of those were made up in Columbus. You know what I mean? So there's a lot. I'm not a big stats guy until we really get into conference play, because I understand if I look at the stats and then I say, well, throw out this game, we'll throw out that game, well, the stats become irrelevant at this point. But when I put the film on, they're stout inside. This will probably be the biggest defensive line we play. Their backers are probably the biggest, thickest group of backers that we'll play. And their scheme allows their DBs to be a lot more active in the box than we've seen in the past. And I told the running backs earlier in the week, their DBs or safeties get down in there fast. So some of these runs that may have spit out, earlier in the season, you're going to have a plan for a DB showing up fast that we may or may not be able to dig out. So I think, again, their scheme does a really good job. When they get to third down, they have a legitimate third down blitz package that really stresses you, because it's not the same, high school blitz, bring 2 off the edge, bring 1 off the edge. Their defensive coordinator does a really good job of blitz patterning, things each week to kind of break down your protections. That's when you really have a good defensive coordinator, when he's not just saying, okay, I'm going to call this blitz because I like this blitz, but this blitz breaks down this protection that you use 60, 70, 80% on third down or whatever it may be. They do a really good job of that. And then I also think they tackle well. You watch them run to the ball. You watch them punch at the ball, strip at the ball. They do the good things fundamentally that a good defense does. So I don't really look at the stats. I think they're better than their stats. I think we're better than our stats. But at the end of the day, you got to kind of put the film on.
He makes a good point here. Their defense might not jump out in the stats category, but they are big. Their size and their physicality up front is going to be something you got to contend with. And they've got a really complex blitz package. And so that could create some problems for Marshall's offense, especially on third downs. And so the key is going to have to figure out, how do you hold that pressure? How do you neutralize that? At the same time, they've had a tough schedule. They played some tough teams that, honestly, put up a lot of yards on the stat sheet. I don't think that you can eliminate games, but at the same time, you got to look at this as, okay, this is like comparable here to what Marshall is, and this is more along the lines of they're one of the top teams in the country. They're going to put that kind of yardage on everybody. It's not really a fair gauge to truly what this team's makeup is all about. So I think he's got some points there. We'll get more of your text in 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Open text the rest of the way. This is The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
It's a great time to save big on everything for your next project at Menards. Get free estimates fast on new energy-efficient windows from JELD-WEN. Choose from vinyl or wood windows and customize the perfect size and unique features for your home. Save big on all JELD-WEN windows today. View our entire selection of JELD-WEN windows on Menards.com. Plus the weekly flyer for other great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Knox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Knox 47 is brand new. The hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
To find out how to get Knox 47 for free, call now. 800-617-1621. That's 800-617-1621. Free bottles for limited time. Call 800-617-1621. That's 800-617-1621.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Of course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night.
Perfect. I love my job.
Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
People think saving money is hard, but really, it's easy. It's as simple as changing a few spending habits. For free tips on how to save the easy way, check out feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
We continue on with this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is open, 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. A lot happening, of course, coming up tonight. 7:05, it's going to be the Charles Huff Show. You can listen to that on 93.7 The Dog and, of course, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. There's also some high school football action tonight in the area. 7 o'clock, it's going to be Wayne at Herbert Hoover. That should be a fun one. We've also got Sun Belt Conference football action tonight. It's going to be Coastal Carolina at James Madison. I'm excited to watch that one. That's coming up tonight. And, of course, for those of you that might want to follow along, women's soccer action underway at 5 o'clock. It's Marshall and Southern Miss right now. It's all tied up at 1 apiece. And, of course, for the hockey fan in you in the area, the Columbus Blue Jackets season opener tonight. It's 8 o'clock at Minnesota. And, of course, a busy night yesterday in baseball and, of course, in hockey. The Pittsburgh Penguins fall to my beloved New York Rangers 6-0. And, of course, There are a lot of Pittsburgh Penguins fans in the area. My social media feed was silent yesterday. Quiet. I usually get little friendly texts, little friendly social media messages. You know who you are. I didn't get any of that yesterday, so my social media feed was really quiet yesterday. National League, Divisional Series, best of 5. Of course, we know the Mets got it done against the Phillies 4-1. The Dodgers beat the Padres 8-0. Series tied 2 games apiece there. And the American League, the Tigers got the better of the Guardians 3-0. Detroit leads that series 2-1. Game 4 coming up tonight, 6 o'clock. Yankees beat the Royals 3-2. The Yankees lead the series 2-1. Game 4 coming up tonight at 8 o'clock. And, of course, there's NFL action as well. Thursday night football should be a fun one. We've got it for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, and on our sister station, Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. That's not all. I don't know when we're going to be able to get her back on the show because we have had her on so much. She should just be a co-host, but Kylie Maston named the Sun Belt Conference Women's Runner of the Week for a second time this season. So she's starting to rack up more of the honors. So congratulations to her for her efforts. And again, some good stuff happening right now with not only cross country, track and field. I think they're really making some strides over there with that program. And of course, we're all still dealing with the hurricane situation. We're dealing with the aftermath of Helene, and now we're struggling through Hurricane Milton. And it came ashore in Florida on Wednesday night, and it had wind and gusts exceeding 100 miles per hour, and there was flooding parts of the state. And so one of the iconic symbols of sports got hit. It was the home of the Tampa Bay Rays. The roof panels over the facility ripped to shreds. And so not really sure what kind of damage you can expect throughout Tropicana Field, but there are parts of that roof. It looks like paper right now. It's completely tattered, and so you can see right inside. And that was actually a location that, if you needed shelter, that was one of the locations that you would fall back on, staging area. And so now those plans have been changed, and luckily nobody really was in the facility. I think there was a handful of people there. They're fine from what I understand. But if you haven't seen this video yet, it's just fascinating. I hate to see it, but it's still fascinating to watch just how the roof just looks like it looks like just cloth. It got ripped apart completely by this thing. I have not heard too many bad stories, thankfully. So hopefully everyone that you are looking for, if you have loved ones in the area, everybody's safe, I hope. And, of course, we're going to keep an eye on all this stuff, as well as, sometimes the sports thing really doesn't matter. So I'm glad that we're getting through all of this, and it's not been fun, and it's not going to be fun for a long time for a lot of these people. So hopefully we can get these folks back on their feet. But it was just, you saw that, and I was like, what? I can't even fathom that. Just looking how this structure just looks like it's now just draped over with cloth. It's just how tattered it was. And so our hearts and prayers are out to everyone who is being impacted by all of the hurricanes that have gone through, especially with Helene and now Milton. So our thoughts and prayers are with everybody. If you're listening from afar and you're somebody who's impacted, our prayers are with you. NFL football, as we mentioned, coming up tonight, San Francisco, Seattle. We've got it for you, 8 o'clock right here, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And, of course, you can listen early on our sister station, that is Cat Sports 93.3 and 1340. So we've got a lot for you. And, of course, the weekend is almost here. Marshall, Georgia Southern, 5 o'clock airtime, Giovanni's 20th Street. That's where I hope you will be for this game. It's going to be on ESPNU, and it's going to be right here on your radio dial, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog. We'll get your text in when we continue. It's wide open on the text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. How's the Herd going to win this one on Saturday, and what do you think the score is going to be? That's our text question when we continue on today's edition of The Drive. It is ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Milton, Russ McRae, 304-743-9318. And in Lavallette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
CF Rushline Jewelers. Visit CF Rushline Jewelers at 947 3rd Avenue in Huntington, across from Pullman Square, Huntington's Peddlers Mall, located in the heart of historic Central City District on 814th Street West at Westland Plaza Shopping Center, Greater Huntington Parks and Recreation District. Explore the parks, trails, and facilities. Learn more at ghprd.org.
Hi, I'm Elise Smith, First Lady of Marshall University and founder of the Women Warriors Summit, the one-day event bringing together trailblazing women from Appalachia and beyond. This year, our focus on productivity will empower women to command their futures with confidence and intention. Hosted by Soledad O'Brien, the summit will also feature remarks by country music star and author Trisha Yearwood and Getting Things Done training by Emily Gregory. Visit womenwarriorsummit.com to get involved.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Open text line the rest of the way. Make good use of it. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Let's hear from you as we continue on with today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. All right, back to the text line we go. Texter says, Paul, I like Stone and I like Braxton. I'm still looking for an air raid offense. Is Cole Pennington the man for that? I wouldn't rule Cole Pennington out of anything right now. And if I'm Georgia Southern, I am devoting some energy to make sure that I've got enough on Cole Pennington. And, of course, they know Cole Pennington. They've seen Cole Pennington. He's not an unknown. I would just try to figure out what he's gotten better at, what his capabilities are, how far he's advanced, and what little we've seen of him. And so I think they would be prepared for Cole Pennington. But right now, to be realistic, unless Coach is throwing us a complete curveball once again, and is it a curveball if we're looking for it? I mean, if he's throwing us a curveball and we're not swinging at it, is it really a curveball? I mean, it's just a pitch at this point. It's not something that he's going to have good use of. Not going to be that much heat on it. I mean, we're expecting the unexpected now. And so it's just difficult to prepare. It's just more homework assignments. But I think we're going to see Braylon or we're going to see Stone. We're going to see one of those two. That's as close as I can get to you right now. And maybe we see Cole. He comes out and he starts. And, again, I would throw him out there just to mess with him. Like, okay, you were expecting Cole. And then I would rotate him. Maybe you rotate all three quarterbacks. I don't know. You play a couple of series with Braylon, then, okay, here comes Stone. And then, okay, you come out with Cole. Depends on how successful you are. Who's got the hot hand? If Braxton's got the hot hand, you roll with it. If Stone comes out, he's got the hot hand, you roll with it. I don't know what the ultimate end game is going to be here for Saturday, but I wouldn't be surprised. And, again, the fact that we're talking about it is the fact that they're going to have to think about it as well. As far as the air raid is concerned, I think you still have to take what the defense gives you. If they're giving you the run, you run. And let that open up the passing lanes. I don't think you force it. If the pass is there, you take it. If the run's there, you take it. I think you have to be smart about this. You just can't keep chucking it down. This isn't Madden. This isn't college football 25 on your PlayStation. I mean, yes, that is my strategy. I chuck it first down, second down, third down, and even fourth down. But at the same time, I think you got to be smart and you got to take what the defense gives you. And so if they're giving you the run and they're trying to take away the pass, then you burn them with the run. And then when they try to adjust for that, that's when you burn them with the pass. So far, so good. I think it's a smart call by Coach Huff. You got that versatility, at least for this offense. All right, I like this. Texter says, Paul, I think any of these three quarterbacks can help get the herd of victory. What's your gut feeling as to who's going to start between Stone and Braylon? You got to pick one. What do you mean I got to pick one? I don't have to pick one, do I? I think we saw Braylon at the presser. And so since we saw Stone last week at the presser and Braylon started, and this week we saw Braylon at the presser, and so you're all thinking that Stone's going to start, but secretly it's going to be Braylon. Braylon starts because we saw him at the presser and we didn't see him last week and he started. And so since we're seeing him at the presser this week and we're all thinking it's going to be Stone, it's going to be Braylon. Watch it be Cole. I'm taking Braylon. Okay, Braxton it is. That's my pick. I'm going to be so wrong. It's going to be Stone, but I'm going to take Braxton. Texter says, Paul, I love hearing from Ryan Crisp yesterday, just telling the fans to come out early. Look at big-time college games. The fans are in the seat by the time the band takes the field. And by the way, as always, no country roads. Can we get a definitive on that? Can we get do you want to hear country roads? I mean, can we get a group letter signed? Who wants to do that? Who wants to get that group letter signed? We'll all sign it. Yeah, we don't want to hear country roads played by the band. Forget that. No, we don't want to hear that. Is that something? Could we get like 5 signatures on that? I don't know. I mean, Marshall's a school in West Virginia. Marshall's a school that also calls the great state home. So that's a song that is linked to the state of West Virginia, even though it's more about the state of Virginia than it is the state of West Virginia. But I digress. I'd rather hear the band play country roads than what some of the things we're hearing. I know there's some of you that just don't like the mix between band and the in-stadium music, and then, of course, there are some that do. I kind of fall on I like to hear the band. I want to hear that nonstop band playing. I just want to hear nonstop band. And of course, you got to have some time for your commercials and your advertisements and everything else, and promotions you're doing on the field. So you got to budget all that. But I'm a fan of the band now. I didn't used to be. I think they've gotten better. So let's hear the band play more. And you know what? If they want to play Country Roads, that's fine. What's an alternative for the band? What's an alternative? Can we suggest something there? All right, yesterday we talked to Ryan Crisp, and if you missed any of that, I'm going to suggest you go back and get that on our podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. All right, let's get this one from the text line. Texter says, Paul, Stone plays the entire game. Mark my words. Braylon plays again next Thursday, and that's a good point right there. That's a good point because you could have Stone come out play for the entirety of the game Saturday while Braylon's ready to go, but he's focused more on the Thursday game. And so maybe you see a combination of Stone and maybe Cole. If the game's out of hand, Cole gets some playing time and completely skip Braylon. And you've just told him, look, we're going to need you for Thursday night. We're going to get you ready. Be ready. We need you to step up. If you got to play, you got to play. But we want you to focus more on getting ready. We got this Thursday night game coming up. That's a good idea, actually. I can see that happening. Will it happen? I don't know, but I can see that happening. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is our text line. A few minutes to go here on the show, and don't forget, coming up later tonight, it's going to be the Coach Huff Show. 5 o'clock is our time. 6 o'clock is the statewide sports line time. And then 7 o'clock on Thursdays, always dedicated to Coach Huff. And you get an opportunity to hear from the head coach himself on the upcoming game. So be tuned in throughout the rest of the night. And then, of course, we got Thursday night football coming up right after that. San Francisco takes on Seattle. That's coming up at 8 o'clock. All right, back to the text line. Texture says, bet we have many fans in the stands from Ohio, many from Kentucky. Goodbye, Country Roads. That's a possibility. You want to focus more on being a regional team because now the Metro has expanded. By the way, I don't know if you knew this, but the Metro rate has been expanded. So it's a little bit more affordable for students in Ohio and Kentucky to actually attend Marshall University now. So they're expanding a little bit. I still want to know what an alternative is. I mean, what should the playlist be for the band? What's a tune we all can agree on that you want to hear the band play? And if it's not Country Roads, what do you want to hear the band play that's going to be significant and symbolize Marshall University? Not just the state of West Virginia, but what Marshall University is about. What can the band play? That's going to be the band's signature. I mean, you want to hear the band play Thunderstruck? I mean, I'm actually on board with that. But what is it that we can suggest? Because we just can't say, don't play Country Roads. Okay, well, what do you want us to play? That's going to be the answer. If I ever said it, if I ever looked at the band and just said, hey, you guys quit playing Country Roads, they're going to look at me like, Mr. Swann, what do you want us to play? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This has been fun. We'll do this more. We'll definitely have more days where we just make it open text throughout the day and have just one long thread, like a chat room. Don't forget, busy night tonight. Thursday night football coming up, 8 o'clock, following the Coach Huff Show right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Hey, we got some good news. It's right now Marshall leading Southern Miss. We're talking women's soccer here. They're in Hattiesburg taking on the Eagles there, and it's 2-1 Marshall. Good news. Hopefully the Herd will get the win over the University of Southern Mississippi. I would love to see more victories come the women's way. So that's good stuff. And, of course, don't forget, we got a busy weekend as well. Make sure you are aware that we've got volleyball coming up on Friday and Saturday for the Thundering Herd. 6 p.m. on Friday. It is 2 p.m. on Saturday versus James Madison. And after the game on Saturday, head on down to Giovanni's 20th Street because we'll be doing our pregame show live at 5 o'clock. Get your pizza order in. You can watch the game there, or you can get takeout. Take home one of their delicious pizzas. I usually try to get their Supreme. It's one of the best. Whatever you like, you can get that Giovanni's 20th Street, get the Calzone. It's the place to be for game day on Saturday. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you there. Hey, especially since it's going to be a 5 o'clock game, airtime. Last time we were there, it was like 8 a.m. We were there at 8 a.m. Who's getting a pizza at 8 a.m.? Nobody is getting a pizza at 8 a.m., even though pizza is probably the most acceptable breakfast food alternative there is out there. You can't eat pizza cold in the morning. It's not that good. All right, Texter says, Paul, tell the band to play the Armed Forces medley every game. Next, you're going to have people asking for the theme to Harry Potter. What's the most ridiculous thing we could get the band to play that everybody would like? That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.